There are places on Earth that truly exist, yet look as if they belong to another planet. Not sci-fi illustrations, not cinematic effects, but the real world, with lakes as clear as liquid glass, caves that plunge deep beneath the ocean, and massive spirals etched into deserts, as if pulled from ancient myth. Today, join World Mystery Wonders as we unlock the gateway to 15 surreal destinations where nature transforms, colors defy reason, and the very laws of reality seem to blur, like a fairy tale dream come to life. Geyser Lake, Russia. Hidden deep in the wild taiga forests of the Altai region lies a small lake. So strange, it makes you wonder if you're staring into a living eye of the earth. This is Geyser Lake, modest in size, yet pulsing with unseen energy beneath its surface. From the lakebed, underground thermal springs regularly erupt, pushing up mineral-rich mud and sand in perfect concentric circles. These swirling patterns don't fade. They shift, breathe, and seem to live with the rhythm of the earth itself. The water is so crystal clear that you can see every detail below. Vibrant blues, deep purples, shimmering silver, forming what looks like a time portal opening beneath your feet. On calm mornings, the lake reflects the surrounding forest and sky like a magical mirror, making the entire world around it feel paused. There are no crowds, no artificial sounds, just forest, wind, and a mysterious pool that whispers something ancient from the deep. Geyser Lake isn't a place to explore in haste. It's a place to stand still and feel that the earth is writing something in color and motion, just for those who know how to listen. Rezia structure, Moritania. In the heart of the arid Sahara Desert, where everything is worn smooth by wind and sand, a massive circle suddenly emerges, so perfectly shaped that even satellites in orbit can't ignore it. This is the Rezia structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, a vast spiral formation nearly 40 kilometers in diameter, as if an ancient eye of the earth had surfaced to watch the skies. From the ground, it seems unremarkable, but from above, everything changes. Colossal rock rings, eroded fractures, and layers of exposed geology form a giant spiral so precise it resembles a buried portal to another dimension. For decades, people believed it to be the impact crater of a long-lost meteorite. But scientists later concluded it was actually the result of extremely rare geological uplift and erosion, formed hundreds of millions of years ago. Still, its near-perfect symmetry continues to spark debate. Many refuse to believe it's purely natural. Some fringe scholars even claim it might be the long-lost location of Atlantis, the last trace of a forgotten civilization, swallowed by time and sand. Whatever the truth may be, the Rezia structure remains a haunting mystery in the heart of the desert, a massive question mark left behind by nature. Who drew this eye into the earth? And what exactly is it watching? Pamukkale, Turkey. If someone told you there's a place where snowy white covers the mountains all year round, yet it's never cold, that place would be Pamukkale, which means cotton castle in Turkish. From a distance, it looks like a frozen kingdom sculpted from pure light. But as you draw near, you'll find yourself standing among terraces of gleaming white limestone, formed over thousands of years by mineral-rich hot springs flowing from deep within the earth, solidifying layer by layer. The formation of Pamukkale began over 400,000 years ago, when 17 thermal springs, reaching temperatures up to 100 degrees Celsius, constantly bubbled to the surface. Each stream left behind shimmering calcium carbonate, which gradually hardened into brilliant travertine stone. Today, pools of turquoise water rest upon the white steps, like mirrors in the sky, reflecting the late afternoon sun in soft shades of pink. In that moment, you may feel as though you've stepped into another realm, one that is both dreamlike and real. Atop the hill lies Hierapolis, an ancient Roman city once reserved for emperors and aristocrats seeking healing in its sacred waters. The ruins of columns, amphitheaters, and temples still stand quietly beside the thermal springs, as if history itself still lingers, breathing through the rising mist. Pamukkale is not just a beautiful landscape. It's a symphony of minerals, water, and light, a white dream woven by nature without ever needing the touch of a single brush stroke. Dal Ethiopia. If there's a place on Earth that makes you question whether you've stepped onto another planet, it's Dal, a volcanic landscape buried deep within Ethiopia's Danakil Depression, where life barely survives, but color explodes like a hallucination. Here, average annual temperatures hover between 35 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius, making Dal the hottest inhabited place on the planet. But it's not the heat that stuns visitors, it's the surreal scenery. Neon green acid pools, bright yellow mineral crusts, boiling springs, and plumes of sulfur vapor rising from the ground. It's a landscape that defies logic, as if nature had spilled every color on its palette in one reckless stroke. Oxidized salt and iron burst forth from the earth and crystallize, creating a terrain so bizarre that it feels alive, constantly shifting, steaming, hissing. There are no trees, no rivers, no birds, only vapors, minerals, and colors from a realm beyond imagination. Dal has drawn explorers, scientists, and dreamers, all in search of something that lies beyond the boundaries of life as we know it. And even today, it remains one of the few places where you can truly feel that fragments of uncharted worlds still exist, right here on Earth. Jellyfish Lake, Palau. Imagine swimming through a cloud of strange, glowing creatures, drifting all around you like silent spirits. They don't sting, they don't flee, they simply float, as if time itself flows differently in this hidden world. Welcome to Jellyfish Lake, a surreal marine lake tucked deep within the rock islands of Palau. Thousands of years ago, this saltwater lake became isolated from the open ocean, and over time, its ecosystem evolved in near-complete isolation. In a twist of nature, the golden jellyfish that inhabit the lake gradually lost most of their stinging ability. Without predators, they no longer needed defense. The result? A shimmering population of delicate, translucent beings gently pulsing beneath the sunlight, forming a slow-motion ballet in a perfectly silent world. Visitors can snorkel among the jellyfish, brushing past them softly, feeling the gentle movement of life that's almost too light to touch. Each jellyfish catches and scatters sunlight in its own way, turning the entire lake into a living galaxy beneath the surface. Jellyfish Lake isn't just a place to visit. It is an underwater world unlike anything else on Earth, where the line between biology and myth disappears, and where you can float through the impossible, knowing it is entirely real. The Hani rice terraces China. If there is a place on Earth where nature and humankind have co-created a masterpiece, it would be the Hani rice terraces in the mountains of Yunnan, China. Seen from above, the mountains seem draped in thousands of shimmering mirrors, reflecting the sky, the sun, and even the passage of time itself. For more than 1,300 years, the Hani people, an ethnic minority living in the highlands, have quietly transformed steep hillsides into flowing layers of terraced fields. They guide water from the ancient forests above through a network of channels and terraces like lifeblood through stone veins. There were no blueprints, no machines, only patience, deep reverence, and an unshakable belief that the land and water possess souls. During the water-filled season, the entire mountain transforms into a living painting, where each flooded paddy mirrors the drifting clouds. At sunrise, golden orange floods the slopes like molten light. By noon, the terraces glow in soft blues and purples. And at dusk, the whole valley dissolves into a fairy tale dream of color and sky. The Hani rice terraces are more than just a beautiful landscape. They are a harmony between nature and human ingenuity, a symphony of soil, water, sky, and hands that carved every curve over centuries. And only now does the world begin to realize some fairy tales really are real. Lenso Marinenses, Brazil. It looks like a desert, but it's not. Lenso Marinenses, in northern Brazil, is where nature seems to have rewritten the rules. A sea of soft, white sand dunes, stretching endlessly like silk sheets, and nestled between them, thousands of turquoise lagoons. During the rainy season, from January to June, torrential rains fill the valleys between the dunes, creating crystal-clear freshwater pools. Temporary, yet so stunning, they appear unreal. From above, the landscape resembles another planet. Endless rippling dunes, interrupted by shimmering lagoons, as if someone had scattered gemstones across a canvas of sand. The name Lenso means bed sheets in Portuguese, because the undulating dunes look like an enormous fabric gently draped over the earth. But this scene is far from still. Winds constantly reshape the dunes, and the location of the lagoons changes year to year. No pattern repeats. Nothing man-made exists here. No buildings, no footprints of civilization, only sand, water, and sky working together to create a living maze, a place where you could lose yourself between reality and mirage, without ever realizing you've stepped into a midday dream. Melisani Cave, Greece. There's a place in Greece where a crystal-clear lake lies hidden deep within the earth. Yet, it's illuminated from above by sunlight pouring in from the heavens. Melisani, also known as the Cave of the Nymphs, is a subterranean wonder tucked within the pine forests of Kefalonia Island, both real and mythical, as if born from the realm of the gods. From the outside, it appears unassuming, but once you glide into the cave by boat, the atmosphere shifts. Light pours through a hole in the cave's ceiling, striking the water and causing the entire space to glow with a soft, otherworldly blue, like liquid glass brought to life. The lake reaches depths of over 30 meters, and the water is so clear, the boat seems to float in midair. When the sun hits just the right angle, the cave ignites from within, illuminating the rock walls and creating a natural light show no artist could ever replicate. According to Greek mythology, This was once a sanctuary of the god Pan, where nymphs sang and danced, hidden from the mortal world. No one knows if the legend is true, but when you're there, drifting in silence, surrounded by glowing water and the echo of stillness, you may find yourself believing that if the gods ever had a secret place, this would be it. The Wave, Arizona, USA. In the blazing, bone-dry deserts of Arizona, hidden among the red sands, lies a wonder that feels pulled from the imagination, a frozen wave of stone, curling forever in time. They call it the Wave, though there is no ocean, no water, only stone, sunlight, and the illusion of movement. Formed from Navajo sandstone over 190 million years ago, the wave is the result of wind and water sculpting the Earth's surface layer by layer. The swirling patterns of sediment curve like silk, winding in delicate spirals. Its colors shift with the sun, from fiery orange to soft rose, from golden earth to deep crimson, making the landscape appear as a portal to another world. Only 20 people per day are allowed to visit, and there are no clear paths, no signs, just a rugged journey through harsh desert terrain, guided by instinct and weather's whim. But those who make it are rewarded with silence, stillness, and awe. Before you lies a painting made of stone, so vivid it seems to ripple with every blink of light, as if a single touch could make the entire wave crash into light and memory. The wave is not a place to simply observe. It's a place to suspend your sense of reality and accept that sometimes beauty doesn't need to be explained. It only needs to be felt. Huanglong Valley, China. Imagine a golden dragon winding its way through snow-covered mountains, and each of its shimmering scales is a crystal-clear turquoise pool. That's how many describe Huanglong, or Yellow Dragon Valley, one of China's most surreal and lesser-known natural wonders. Perched at an altitude of over 3,500 meters in the Minshan mountain range of Sichuan province, Huanglong appears like a fairy tale painting carefully brushed by nature itself. A mineral-rich stream flows for over 3 kilometers, forming hundreds of cascading terraced pools. Each one reflects a different hue, from emerald green to amber gold, shifting with the light, temperature, and mineral content of the water. These travertine pools were formed over thousands of years through the gradual deposition of calcium carbonate, as thermal spring water gently carved its way through the valley. Layer upon layer, nature sculpted these smooth stone basins, mirroring the sky, forest, and distant snowy peaks. In autumn, the contrast of red and gold leaves against the blue-green water creates a landscape so otherworldly, it feels as if you've stepped into a realm of ancient deities. And in winter, the entire valley lies under a blanket of snow, with only the steaming springs exhaling mist, like a slumbering dragon breathing into the sky. Lake Rezia, Italy. A single bell tower rises from the middle of a still, silent lake. No village surrounds it. No bells ring. Only water, mist, and memory remain. This is Lake Rezia in South Tyrol, northern Italy, a place where serene beauty veils a submerged chapter of forgotten history. The lake is not entirely natural. In 1950, 3 smaller lakes were merged to build a hydroelectric dam. To make way, the old village of Curon was flooded. Homes disappeared. Families were forced to leave. All that remains above the surface is the 14th century church tower, standing like a lone sentinel over what once was. In winter, the lake freezes solid, and visitors can walk across the ice to its base. Legend says that on misty nights, you can still hear the church bell tolling beneath the water, even though the bell was removed decades ago. Today, Lake Rezia draws travelers not for the clarity of its water, but for the story submerged beneath it. A place where the past still floats quietly beneath the surface, where every stone seems to whisper the memory of something lost but not forgotten. Great Blue Hole, Belize. Amid the turquoise waters of the Caribbean Sea, a massive dark blue circle appears, vast, perfectly round, and plunging straight into the ocean depths. It looks as if someone drilled into the earth itself. But this is no man-made creation. This is the Great Blue Hole, one of the most breathtaking and mysterious underwater wonders on the planet. Measuring nearly 300 meters across and over 120 meters deep, this sinkhole is actually the collapsed roof of an ancient limestone cave, once above sea level, but submerged thousands of years ago as glaciers melted and oceans rose. Inside lie massive stalactites, proof that this was once a dry cavern, a quiet record of Earth's shifting heartbeat over the millennia. From the air, the Great Blue Hole resembles a giant eye of the sea, motionless, fathomless, and eerily calm. At its deepest points, life fades away. There are no coral gardens, no bright fish, just silence, shadows, and the unknown. Even today, parts of its bottom remain unexplored, and somewhere within its hidden depths, many believe there are still secrets that have never seen the light. Hormuz Island, Iran. On the map, Hormuz is just a small island off the coast of Iran. But when you step onto its shores, all rules of color and landscape seem to vanish. The earth turns deep crimson like spilled wine. Cliffs blaze in orange, purple, and gold, and the sands shimmer as if dusted with glitter. Hormuz Island doesn't look like anywhere else on Earth. It looks like the surface of an alien planet. Its surreal appearance comes from the island's rich mineral diversity. Red soils rich in iron oxide, purple rocks colored by manganese, white salt mingling with sulfur yellow, all combine to form a natural palette, so bold even artists would hesitate to imagine it. On some beaches, the red sands bleed into the sea, turning the shoreline into a bloody beach, a rare and stunning natural phenomenon. But Hormuz isn't just about its alien geology. It also hides a layer of ancient tradition. Locals have long used the island's edible earth, golak, for cooking, dyeing, even cosmetics, as if they didn't just live on the land, but lived with it. Once a strategic fortress on the Silk Road, Hormuz faded into obscurity. But now, it quietly stands as one of the planet's most mysterious destinations, a place where you can walk on Martian soil, stare into an endless blue sky, and feel as if you've stepped into a world that has no name. Lauterbrunnen, Switzerland. If ever a valley stepped straight out of a grim fairy tale, it would be Lauterbrunnen, a place so serene it feels as if time itself chose to stop and stay. Tucked within the majestic Swiss Alps, Lauterbrunnen is a flawless U-shaped valley framed by towering cliffs that rise up to 800 meters. From these walls, more than 70 waterfalls pour down in silken streams, painting the air with the gentle whisper of mist and stone. This is not a place of noise or spectacle. Lauterbrunnen draws you in with its pure, unspoken stillness. Wildflower meadows, timeless wooden chalets, the soft echo of cowbells from distant slopes. At dusk, golden light slips across rock and cloud, transforming the entire valley into a living dream that quietly breathes. It's said that this very place inspired J.R.R. Tolkien's vision of Rivendell, the elven sanctuary in The Lord of the Rings. And when you stand at the foot of Stobach Falls, watching water drop from nearly 300 meters in near silence, you'll understand why. Beauty here doesn't need to speak, it whispers. Lauterbrunnen is not a place to conquer, it's a place to pause and believe that the things we thought lived only in legend sometimes appear in the gentlest way, right here in the real world. Vineka, Rainbow Mountain, Peru. At over 5,000 meters above sea level, nestled in the remote stretches of the Andes, rises a mountain so surreal it seems to have been painted by a mad artist. But Vineka, more famously known as Rainbow Mountain, isn't a work of art. It's a masterpiece sculpted by time and the earth itself. The vibrant stripes cascading down its slopes, reds, yellows, blues, and purples, are the result of millions of years of mineral layering and oxidation. Iron gives it red, copper adds green-blue, sulfur paints it yellow, all combining to form a permanent rainbow, untouched by even the harshest winds and storms. What's even more astonishing is that this mountain was once hidden beneath snow and ice, only revealing its true colors in recent decades as the glaciers retreated. Since its discovery, Vineka has become one of Peru's most iconic wonders, a counterpart to Machu Picchu, but with a beauty all its own. To reach the summit, travelers must endure thin air, biting winds, and a long, winding path. But the reward is unforgettable. Standing amidst these ancient colors, under skies so close you feel you could touch them, with the earth glowing beneath your feet, you realize that nature doesn't just paint, it leaves permanent strokes on your soul. Thank you for staying with us until the very end of this journey. If you feel these wonders were worth it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to World Mystery Wonders to continue exploring the extraordinary places that await ahead.